Hi, my name is Colin Morgan, and I'm a people-ologist. I've been happily married for 2 years to an amazing woman, my best friend Renee. Now, I've been in the people business basically all my life. I grew up as a PK in a large family in Jamaica. My father is a preacher, my mother is a preacher, my sister, my brothers, me. It actually seemed like we were at church so much that it actually seemed like we lived at the church. Church was always in my blood and my sweat. And as a result, my blood and sweat was always in the church. You know, as I grew up, I soon realized that there was more to God than us actually living at the church. There was more to God than just having church as usual. And I realized that there was more to church than the typical Sunday service. As I stepped into my calling, I began to see the effect of peopleology, which is, to me, the systematic study of people gained through observation, experience, patience, and love. Now, we all know that there's power in the pulpit, there's power in prayer, but there's also power in fellowship. There's power in relationships. There's power in networking. There's power in volunteerism. There's power in the people diving in and getting involved, getting their hands dirty. I kind of like the idea of us all getting in the boat and rowing instead of some of us just hopping in for the ride. I've actually had the opportunity to see this method of ministry work in various church settings, from the smaller churches of 150 or 1,500 in Jamaica to the mega church of over 15,000 in North Carolina. And regardless of size, culture, nationality, creed, assimilation works. So if there's one thing my experience in mega church ministry has taught me, it is that in a large setting, assimilation and connection is a must. I've seen the impact of peer-to-peer accountability, volunteerism, fellowship, and relationships in large groups. So, needless to say, I'm extremely passionate about getting everyone involved. I first heard about Potential Church a few years ago from a friend of mine who actually sings on the worship team right there in Cooper City. I began to follow online from North Carolina, and I felt an instant connection with the ministry. The word, the worship, the standard of excellence were obvious, even online. Then when Renee and I moved to Florida, we came to visit, and I experienced it for myself. I like the fact that Potential Church is changing the way the world sees the church and changing the way the church sees the world. I like the fact that people can come to church and feel welcome wherever they're at in life. I like that Potential Church understands the power of bringing people together and getting them plugged in. The fact that you have dedicated a position to assimilating of the people is a perfect example of this. If Potential Church was actually a person, we would probably be best friends. I know we would be close because we see eye to eye. We'd get along just fine. And if we were in Jamaica, I would say, "Me like you." The whole idea of assimilation actually is embodied in the mission of your church. So let's bring the people together, partner with them, they'll connect with God, they'll become more like Christ, so together we can change the world. And so, I'm ready. Let's go. My name is Colin Morgan, and I'm a peopleologist.